What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with one more video. All right, guys, we need to get ultra active today. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Let's get in there. Unreal video that I wanted to bring to you guys today. Very insightful, the type of learnings that we're going to be able to get out of this. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to extract. The brother and the sister are on a radio show. I believe that it's a podcast, and they're having a conversation about things in the black community. This goes without saying. By the end of this conversation, you will understand the importance of listening to respond versus listening to react. And I also think this right here breaks down and demonstrates the difference of how black men communicate versus how black women communicate. Without further ado.
See, this is why the thing is that I don't think women could take criticism without it being in.
What's crazy is I literally sat here in this chair and agreed with him.
It's not about agreeing.
I agreed with him. I 100%.
They can't take criticism without coupling it with black men.
Because
they have to do that.
Talk about we are black.
That's not how you sincerely.
Because why are you being divisive? We are.
That's not.
Black
Why is that divisive? Why is that divisive?
I'm about to tell you. We are black. We are a community of black people.
So that's the issue. So now that's the issue.
If we can talk about black women and come to the agreement that music is problematic, what is left to talk about? Why can't we now move on to another discussion, which is the black man? I'm not arguing with you. I agree.
No.
So why do we have to keep talking about it?
Let me pause it right there. Okay, let me pause it right there because it's about to turn up to another level here in a quick second. Now, just to repeat some of the things, and I don't know if you guys had caught it. Apparently, they were having a conversation. What they end up going into the future to compare is lyrics, song lyrics. The conversation turned up when the young brother said something that triggered the young lady. What did he say? Black women cannot take criticism. I've said this from Jump Street, in an idea that the black man has been exposed to criticism through the entirety of our history in America. Black women now are beginning to get criticized a little bit more. Now, I will say this from a criticism perspective. This is something that I believe. I believe that men are better at taking criticism because they put themselves out there more, okay? Women generally are the receivers of male attention. Men generally have to initiate. And that comes with a lot of turning down, which in fact can be taken in as criticism. Also, men are usually more likely to set them up in a position to fail, thus leading to criticism. And I think as far as from a societal perspective, as long as you get these kind of key differences, then in my opinion, you are going to get more men that are okay with a lot more criticism. I mean, even think about how guys mess with each other in male groups. We're always criticizing each other, and it's all fun and games at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a space of good energy, women don't do that like that to that degree. So I agree with him. I just wanted to let that be known. I do agree with what he just said, but she had an initial emotional reaction and wasn't listening to respond because maybe he would have started to explain the things that I'm explaining right now. Now, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. It's just my opinion. I think because we have been exposed to more criticism, much more of us can deal with being criticized from a gender perspective. Let's keep going. Let's see how she responds to this.
Why can't we now move on to another situation?
If you talk about domestic violence, I am not right after that. gonna say
she don't want to
black women just
talk
so
about
disrespectful, and they
Excuse
keep
me
on
one
listening to
second.
that.
Look,
Why would I do that?
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Why?
In addition to explaining that he's trying to rap less about doing drugs,
Exactly.
Lil Baby revealed that he no longer takes Percocet. I'm trying because I done rapped about drugs that I don't even take. If that's Baby, if that's not promoting drug usage, I don't know what is.
That is.
So then here we are. So now Baby promotes drug usage, Future promotes drug usage. Meg raps about sex and promotes hypersexualization. Cardi B raps about hypersexualization. So now what's the common ground? Because the fix is not only black women and the fix is not only black men.
So it's not.
So we need to address it holistically.
So what I'm
Wait, hold on, real quick before he gets into it. Now, what it seems as though is that, you know, they're having a conversation regarding, you know, who is at fault for advertising like bad things within the black community. Is it male rappers for talking about drugs and drug use and proliferating what that is? Or is it women that over-sexualize? And now, I think both are necessarily bad, but you can handle both of those things separately. I don't think that it is correct to try to compare and contrast who is more at fault for the issues, because like, what's the goal of the conversation? Both of those things are bad. To try to compare it is just like, it's disingenuous of an argument to try to stand up, because it's really offering a challenge that without data, you can't quantify it.
If the only so Lil Baby just came out with a song probably like 3 months ago called The Bigger Picture, right? Like, it's a legit single, it's legit songs, probably one of my favorite songs. I'm saying, I understand what you're saying, but when you only are allowed to make a certain type of song, that is a unique problem in itself. That's what I feel. I don't think he only has to make this particular type of song. I think he can write about
all of his discography. He made one song. That now is enough for you to say.
One song? No, he made a couple.
What are the other ones?
Something to Prove? Like, what do you don't listen to him.
I'm saying,
What's wrong with Something to Prove?
What do you think he's talking about? He's a nigga from the hood. So he has something to prove. Like,
that's a good song. He's not talking about promoting drugs.
But he's not out here, like, that's not a pretty thing either. Like, what do you mean?
What has to be pretty?
Because he's talking about the fact that as a black man, he's been pigeonholed into the hood.
What are you proving right now?
If you would let me finish my sentence,
okay,
I would speak. But that's the fucking problem. You're not interested in the holistic community. You're interested in getting on this platform and shitting on black women.
Nope, that's how you're taking it.
That shit is whack as hell.
That's bad. It's whack if that's how you're taking it. What's whack is that you're taking it like that.
The whole community has problems.
Of course.
Black women have problems. Black men have problems.
If you listen to what I said,
I just sat here. You done just went on a whole rant.
You're not listening to what I'm saying correctly.
You're not listening to me, because I never stopped talking. You just sat here and said that Baby does not promote drug usage.
You not listening to me because I never stopped talking. Now, what I find intriguing about this clip is that she's talking about working together or solving holistic problems of the community, but through the way that she is communicating with a black man on the other side of the room to her is not in a way to respond or to communicate in a two-person conversation. She's trying to overstep. She's trying to correct. She's trying to teach in a demeaning way. And this is a problem. Listen, what I seek to do on this channel a lot of times in the group conversations when I have someone sitting right next to me is to give a model of how we should be communicating. And I don't get it right 100% of the time, but I know this: actively listening while standing up a degree of empathy into how you perceive and then communicate, and giving the other person a room to breathe, a room to speak, to get their thoughts and bring it across the table. I do that because it's respect. I am respecting that person in that conversation. The way that this conversation is going, there is definitely, without a doubt, a lack of respect. But some people feel as though at the point that you don't understand me or that the disrespect happens, at that point it doesn't even matter. I don't want to hear what you want to say anymore. You're just going to sit there and you're going to listen to my point because my point is what matters. This is the breakdown of the communication.
So what they hear is blame, right? What they hear is blame. If you listen even to the WAP music video, if you think I was blaming Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, that's what I was doing, you didn't listen to it correctly. Really, I'm blaming white men most things that I say, I'm really blaming white men. However, it's not that hard for black women to hear he's blaming and shitting on black women. But I'm not. I'm just not. But that's how they hear it.
Listen, that's actually the end of the clip, end of the video. One of the other reasons why I wanted to make sure that I showed this as well is that, listen, all the times in my comments, I get similar comments as to what the young lady was trying to say. Listen, at the point that you criticize doesn't mean that you are trying to get at a person or get at a community. It's just criticism. It's commentary. It's okay. But then and goes into exactly what I'm talking about. The media and the things that hit our eyes. This portion of YouTube, media has never seen this. Media has never seen this to a degree of bashing men or criticizing men or commentary about men. Men are trash. Men ain't shit. All of that is normal in our media. All of that is normal. But if you flip it around and you criticize things that you see that women are doing and have a bit of commentary about it, that's the type of stuff that I see in my comment section from time to time. And I think it goes back to the original point at the beginning. Not used to being criticized. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. I'll leave a link down in the description box for this one. I'm probably not going to play the entirety of this clip, so feel free to go down in there. Also, you'll see the Instagrams of the two participants down up in there as well. All right? Until next time, YouTube.